Let's continue on. Glad to continue on the deployment of EAS if we manage to do it, and then on the Met IRL to then show later another time to add the subscription to it for cashless experience.
That's
But
gonna
first,
be the next step, obviously. So yeah, here we go again. This is the Building Public session 7, and so as Bertrand just said, we are deploying the EAS Ethereum Attestation Service to Arthera, and this is the part 2, where we're gonna try to deploy the contracts to Arthera testnet, and if we have time, also deploy the front end that kind of goes with it, which is called Met IRL.
Met in real life.
Met in real life.
To show so it will be this way you could attest that you met in real life another owner of wallet.
Exactly.
You could even try to trick the system by using 2 wallets to try to attest that both of your wallets met in real life, even if you are the same person. But then it's about having a social graph to decide who you want to trust and who you don't want to trust.
Exactly. So kind of the first step towards, like you said, a social graph, or even web of trust. Can you say that?
So it would be a way to apply the web of trust principle with EAS and Arthera. For now, it's the latest official deployment is on Optimism, but we want to challenge the fact that anyone can deploy on any EVM.
And we actually can, be optimistic on Arthera as well, right?
Yeah, and I mean that's where we do the challenge. So every project that claim to be open source, permissionless, EVM agnostic, if we want to prove that claim, we need to be able to deploy it on Arthera by yourself.
Yes.
And without their permission.
Yes.
That we prove the open source, permissionless, and EVM agnostic.
I 100% agree, but for some specific applications, sometimes I think you kind of have to deploy your protocol on one and only one given network. You see what I mean? Like sometimes
it's more fragmentation, but I mean, even if you keep it isolated, at least you can provide the possibility to the community to do their own community deployment with their own community.
Yeah, sure, but then it would be like a fork, right?
Yeah, but it could be a free-only fork, not so free-only fork.
Yeah, but then
for me, that's the power of the open source. Power could be in a good or in a bad way. So, it's not always business friendly if we want to go that way.
Exactly. If you have a certain logic and you want to maybe have it on one specific network, if it has a token, well, the token can go to sort of every chains. But yeah, I've been talking like this today. I've been talking with a super interesting and talented and experienced developer today, and yeah, it's not that easy to be on several chain, right?
Yeah, I mean, also, yeah, it's even more complicated when you don't want to be on several chain. I mean, it's
It feels like it even makes sense to design the whole protocol to be on several chains.
yeah, but if you claim it, if you claim that it's EVM agnostic, open source, permissionless, that's if it's a claim of the project,
Yeah.
it
No,
means that you should be able to challenge the claim.
yeah,
I
no,
don't talk about every project. Every project doesn't claim to be open source, permissionless, doesn't promote it
for
in
sure.
doesn't do EV marketing on it. So it's just about bullshit detection. Like,
Oh yeah, 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 for
if you
sure.
claim something, anybody should be able to challenge it.
Yes, yes, yes,
That
yes.
seems very logic to me, but
Yeah, yeah,
maybe
that's
it's not really logic to every marketing people.
oh, come on, come on. Um, yeah, it's just that.
Yes, or just if you claim something, be
Oh
ready
yeah,
for others to challenge it.
I mean,
Just
verifiability is kind of a fundamental part of what we do in Web3. So yes, yes, 100%. But then, I mean, it can be challenging to design a certain protocol, certain logic uh, to eventually allow other communities to deploy it on other networks. But eventually using the same token bridged, I don't know. This
yeah, that after it's about isolation, about the connection, between the different deployments. But it's like the different distribution of Linux. Like
Mhm.
yes, I was open source before the Web3, so yeah, I'm
It's
more talking about open
it's
source
interesting.
claiming that are not so much. That's more open source marketing than open source building.
That's super interesting. I'm even thinking, and maybe right after that we can we can go back to EAS deployment.
Hmm?
But I was even thinking like you actually can deploy your app. Let's say on why not on several networks at the same time using Create Two. Why not? And then like bridge the token to some other networks and allow people to deploy the same using that token. So you kind of keep sort of unicity on every chains. I don't know.
Yeah, after it's about a reputation, about still trust and network effect. Uh, it's not because anybody can fork Uniswap v2 or v3
Mhm.
that every fork is friendly or every fork is has a good reputation or is genuine or this kind of. Not everyone. If there's something we can learn in Web3 is that not everyone has good intention.
Yes, I see what you mean.
So it's like how internet was designed at the beginning, having the hypothesis that everyone acting on internet has good intention.
Mhm.
That's where the hacker name come from. Usually when you hack, it's try to mash something together, to assemble, to do some composability of things. But then when you add the cracker, and which are no name hacker, but it's about cracking something you want, like you try to crack the nut. So you try to get something else than
Yeah, I mean we've seen like all
so
sorts of vampire attacks.
yeah.
Yeah,
And so,
that
but not
happens.
I've not seen many reports of DeFi vampire account from Bucharest.
Oh, come on. But I was thinking also like in case of a vampire attack, maybe we can use the legal stuff to maybe I don't know.
Yeah, but even to do legal thing, you need to know the people.
Maybe
If
when you publish your piece of software, maybe you can uh, publish it under a specific license that says, and I
yeah,
think
that's true.
it's
That's
probably
what
the
does
case
an
with
ISWAP.
Facebook, right?
An ISWAP has done that,
Yeah, exactly.
and it worked most of the time. But technically, there is no. I've not seen any limitation. It's
Hmm.
just a legal limitation. People that following just code is law say there is no technical limitation, so I will do it technically, and even if it's illegal, because I do it in an anonymous way, I don't feel concerned by the legal limitation, because to be legal, to enforce the legality, you need to enforce the identity also.
Right. Um, how about some attestation on top of Arthera?
Yeah. And so identity, with identity, you come with also attestation. Like with the attestation, so we connect also with ENS. So this way, instead of having the pseudonymity of wallet address,
Hmm.
you have directly the name associated to the wallet. So
And and we have Flavius just joined us. Thank you for joining us.
maybe in the shadow, as it's pretty sunny. It's pretty sunny in Bucharest also.
Really?
Let's see next week. What we've seen here last time
Hmm.
is that we changed the harden config. So
Okay.
to put the deployment network, let's start with the pull request of last time.
Hmm.
Up to give a recap of up and yeah. Up. So if I go to GitHub and to EAS contracts.
Also, I want to say, like, today we have a hard stop. We have a hard stop in 45 minutes. So
Yeah. Don't be late.
so let's not be late, and we'll just do our best.
Yeah. So here you can scan. Last time I showed the issue. So here we have the issue on when will you deploy an Arthera testnet,
Hmm.
and
Impatient,
then
impatient issue.
I've linked the pull request that is in a draft mode
Hmm.
that was made 5 days ago.
Yep, that was the previous building
And
public session.
even just on 8 p.m. time, without any minute. And here you can see that it's not ready for review. It's in draft. And
Hmm.
here you see the link with the issue. And here's the modification. So it's only addition. So here we add in the env template that we will copy now a new environmental variable for
Hmm.
the RPC URL of Arthera testnet.
Hmm.
Then in the name account, adding the same where we deployed, where we define Arthera testnets that will be used in the name account. So this is for our that deploy module,
Hmm.
which will be used an account. Later we'll see, we'll look to use the account name deployer. That's why we call it a name account.
Yes.
And here, as we have it for all other network, here we had also the Arthera testnet that we defined just before. And the Arthera testnet use the deployment Arthera testnet that I've shown you before in the VS Code, which need to be the deployer address. I think we'll try with deployer private key. And yeah, and so our that config, that's where we define, we get this from the environment variable defined there. Here we have a default value of empty string because we put the default value in the template to keep it current with others. And here we had the network configuration for Arthera testnet with the chain ID that have updated because it was, if we look here, it was confusing. Yeah, build like
I think
developing using Ardat.
Yeah.
And here we should use with 3 and not with 4 because that's user one. This one we want to use.
Absolutely.
243.
Yes.
And you can check 243. Then we use the URL defined and the same parameters and the other save deployment. So we want to save the deployment in the deployment directory. That's a feature of that deploy. And we want to make it, and this is for the live network.
Yes. So as you just said, we use, instead of using sort of basic deployment scripts in Hard Hat, we're using a plugin that's called Hard Hat Deploy, built by Ronan Sanford, by the way. And what's can you remind us, like, what are the advantages of using this one?
So like saving the deployment artifact.
Yep.
And managing the dependencies and also managing the deployment status. So if you have a dependency that was well deployed, but another contract depending on depending on this dependency that wasn't able to be deployed correctly, if you run again that deployment, it will find that the dependency was well deployed, so it will not retry to deploy it. And so, and this is integrated feature, so you don't need to have a special script that will look first if the deployment was done. It's managed automatically, and you don't have to manage it by yourself in your manual deployment script. Everything that is done in the deploy could be done in the deployment, the usual manual deployment script, but it will make too much more time to have this feature again.
Right. So that's one step forward. To say, let's say, automatization and clarity and the project.
And to use the same framework, to use the same standard. So it's a standard used by different projects to be able to have a clearer deployment.
Sure. And maybe in an upcoming building public session, we might also want to cover something called X deployer. That's something else. We'll see that later, I guess.
Yeah, for the CRIT 2 that you talk about. So to have, the later step is to, when you deploy, it would be easier to deploy at the same address on every blockchain you deploy. And that's the topic you have only if you care about deploying on another chain. If you just deploy on one chain, you don't have to care about the deployment address, because you deploy only on one chain, so it cannot be different on another chain. If when you deploy to multiple chain, before deploying, you should think about do we want to keep the same address or not on the different chain?
Right.
There is different opinion about that. Yeah, and here that's where we define the constant of the enumeration of deployment network that is used. And we've seen that there was a tenderly constant that was used and not defined. So I've defined it also. So now the remaining part.
You actually fixed that small bug on the way, right?
Yeah, which not really. Maybe it should not be in the same pull request.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, at least. Yeah. I mean, let's remove it this way.
Yep.
We'll see if so in constant, because if we'll not give a good. As a reviewer, I would not like to accept something that is not that is out of topic of the issue concern and.
Yes, absolutely. So meaning that this small bug you kind of discovered on the way, we should like create an issue and then create a branch from that issue and then
Maybe it's outdated source code that is not used anymore, and so that's why it doesn't create a problem to have not it defined on constant, because it's not really used anymore.
Right.
So it's also about managing the deprecation.
Right.
Because here you can see that there was the ABI of JSON, of the proxy, and of the schema registry, and it was deployed on the like this when you deploy on the fork of mainnet managed by Tenderly.
Right.
And here you can see the. But as you will not have the same Tenderly API, you may not have this also same deployment. So that's what we see in the deployment directory. If you want to see which one, like which contract is deployed at which block, or which block or which timestamp.
Okay.
Optimism, migration, and here you see that the optimism mainnet deployment was done 4 days ago. So I've even updated. What you haven't seen is that updated my branch from the base branch. So
yeah. So you actually done that, like you rebase or something?
yeah, you see here that this branch is
Okay.
2 commit ahead of Ethereum attestation service master.
Right. So you're fully synced with the main.
And here you see that the branch is up to date with forked Ethereum attestation service EAS contract master.
All right.
So there is no need to sync the fork.
And one more question. So finally, you said you kind of solved that kind of deploy a private key problem that we had.
That's what we will try now.
Okay,
so here we will copy. That's what is not documented in this part. But as you can see, here is .env template, and you can see it's dot file are hidden by default. You need to add the A for all to list them.
Okay.
And then I can copy of template in .env. Up. Then I could check the current content of env. And here the deployer That's why if you look at env, you can even see here. If you look at the Git init, you see that the Git init is ignoring everything .env star, but not .env.template.
Okay. Yeah.
So that's
So,
why we have .env template in Git, but not in gray. You see the .env because it's ignored by Git, because it will contain the private key of the deployer.
for sure, that's kind of the current best practice, I would say, right?
Yeah.
Like,
And so, talking about best practice, to not share the deployer private keys, that's where I switch this screen from the public screen to my private screen.
all right.
And
That,
here, so here I will show how you can get the private key and doing the same in my private screen.
even for that, I mean, okay.
Yeah, but without typing the password, it will not display the private key, and that's a private key that we already shared before.
Okay. Okay.
So
No, no,
it would be just sharing it one more time. That's not so.
okay. No, no.
But
That's
yeah,
okay.
and it always change in the UI, so it's not here now. It's
I think I had several wallets compromised like this. Like, I don't know, maybe someone saw it somewhere in GitHub,
yeah.
and I think I lost maybe, yeah, a bit of real money. But that's yeah, that happens. That happens in the crypto space.
So that's where you click on the show private key.
Yep. All right.
So let's keep the good practice.
Yeah,
If we do it,
while we stream and we do, this kind of stuff live, it's always better to even cut the screen sharing while we manipulate private keys, and then we go back to share to share.
yeah, and to have two screen if when possible.
Yeah, I mean that's luxury. Like, you know.
Yeah, but this way I can have a small mobile screen and a big not mobile screen.
Mobile screen.
Yeah, I mean mobile laptop, like having
Ah, yeah.
keeping a small screen on the laptop
Okay.
and a big screen on the desktop.
No, okay. No, because I was thinking of a presentation I saw. I don't know if you saw it, about a project in Africa called Abyssinia. I don't know if you saw that. And he was talking about developers that actually only have a mobile device to
Yeah,
code. And the project is basically encouraging and sort of building kind of a framework to to code with mobile devices. And yeah, that was, yeah, it made me think of that. But anyway,
yeah. That's what is coming more and more with the Google Pixel or
yep.
the modern mobile phone. You can
Yep.
use your phone in a dock. You can plug the phone in a dock in a dock station, a docking station,
Hmm.
and the docking station converts the phone into a laptop.
Yes, that's the future, obviously.
The future for some and the present for others. But then
Yes.
you have also to find the life to make it work also. Like,
Yes.
it's no. So I was confused between copying the private key and the public key.
Hmm.
So, and also MetaMask doesn't help by always. So it's better to open MetaMask in the big in a tab.
Yeah.
And then this way it doesn't
Move.
yeah, it doesn't close when you click someone.
When the orange fox
Yeah,
moves.
yeah, but even with that, I don't, because I have security on the copy pasting, and it seems sometimes it say it's copied, but when I try to paste, it doesn't pass.
Oh yeah, that happens sometimes
Yeah.
for some reason.
So it happened, but it seems it's a security feature. Yeah,
Mhm.
but here it doesn't work at all.
Ah,
So let me check. I will do. I mean, it's because I copy with a copy button, and this time I will copy with copy contextual menu.
mhm.
See if it works better. Yeah, so that's another bug of MetaMask.
Interesting.
So if you click on the copy button, it doesn't work. If you click on, if you select the text and then copy, or maybe I need to select the text first before clicking on the button, but
Hmm.
shouldn't work that way.
Oh yeah, I remember. And try to click twice on the copy button,
Yeah,
right?
I don't know, but
I'm sure it's some security
yeah.
feature.
So now I've copied it. And don't forget to use 0x at the beginning, because what you see in MetaMask when you show the private key doesn't start with 0x. And RDAT expect it to start with 0x.
And you sure? Are you sure?
Yeah,
Okay.
because, that's why sometimes you will see 0x and as a prefix, and then something taken from the environment variable.
Okay.
Uh, so 0x stands for making it 0x stands for hexadecimal type.
Yep.
So if it's hexadecimal, you inform what will follow is hexadecimal by starting with 0x.
Right.
If it was octal, you would say 0O. If it was binary, 0B, or this kind of.
I thought maybe hard hat is kind of tolerating without a 0x. I'm not sure.
Maybe after, I don't know. Like if too many, that's the way community works also. If too many people make the same error, then there is someone proposing a patch that
Yeah.
check if there is starting or not by 0x, and if it's not start by 0x, then it adds 0x automatically,
Mm-hmm.
and that makes people even more lazy.
Makes me remember back in the days using Remix. Using Remix, you had to type and don't forget the double quotes and stuff, and it was super painful.
Yeah.
But now it's kind of tolerating, uh, us humans. So
Yeah. So maybe that's why some people doesn't consider me as human.
oh, come on.
Okay,
It's a
so
machine.
I've copied it. So now I can come back. So the command I should not run again is this one,
Okay, yeah.
because he will
Otherwise,
display.
we just see
uh,
everything. We see you
Yes,
naked
but
do that.
I mean we have already shared it before, so that's not a big deal.
Yeah.
And there is nothing on this key on mainnet. So
All right. Yeah, yeah. So that
that's
wouldn't
not
be a
even
disaster,
less a big deal.
but still, we get that private key. And by the way, I can add like, if that ever happens, what I usually do is that I put a little exposed tag
Yeah,
uh,
but
in my MetaMask, so I know that it's exposed, and I know that
all my deployer, for me, a
Right,
deployer means also exposed, because
right.
usually when I create a deployer key is to expose it. So
Yeah. Okay.
in my use case, writing deployer means already exposed.
Right.
Okay, so let's just check. to test first the deployment without EAS to check that the deployment procedure work. So yeah, on Sepolia, let's see. So yeah, I could put that.
Oh, you wanna give it a try on Sepolia first, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
So here you could see that this is the address I've exported. Oh, Sepolia. Let's. And I guess I could run because there is not so much testnet deploy that. Maybe even on RDAT. Yeah, but if it's on RDAT, it will not use, as you see here, in RDAT, it will use account, and then it will create the 20 account on RDAT. But on all other network, it's not using this account. And that's why later it use name account, saying name account using the variable name account. And then in name account, that's where we have the Arthera testnet. And the Arthera it describes there, defines there the same way as others.
Right. Do you need some Sepolia ETH?
Yeah, but I think I can send. I was looking if there is other testnet, but I think that's the only one. Well, maybe Optimism Girly also. Sepolia Optimism Girly and Base Girly.
I'm just seeing I'm kind of rich in Sepolia ETH, so if you need.
Yeah, you can see if you want to. I was going to send from other account, but
I can send
maybe
you one.
to the testnet. But
I can send you one ETH if you like.
Okay. Yeah. So let me send the address. I don't where I put the address.
There's a chat on the right.
Yeah, but on the right. Yeah, but no.
Yeah, because Restream obviously changed and upgraded somehow, and that's yeah.
There is no chat anymore.
It's kind of somewhere else, like on the right bottom.
On the right button.
Yeah.
In settings? No, settings. I see settings. Shortcut.
Maybe you don't have it. Like I do a hello.
Send it other way.
Yeah.
Up. And again, when copy doesn't work, you said copy. Yeah, it works.
Click twice. That's a security thing on MetaMask, I think.
Yeah, but.
Thanks. Got it.
Yeah.
Just a second. Copy your address. That's one ETH for you, and it's broadcasted on the Sepolia network.
Yeah, and even my Telegram is broadcasted.
So it's pending. It's going to be, I think, 14 seconds average on Sepolia, I think.
Refresh.
No, it's still pending.
Yeah, but I can still see portfolio.
And confirmed.
Yeah, you have it. Yep, it's here. Okay, and now, yeah, it's already 20 minutes. So here we see in packages that there is deploy Sepolia. And that it will define the environment variable on that network equals Sepolia.
Right.
Let's deploy.
So so the command will be npm run
No, PNPM.
pnpm. That's right.
Because here we have the PNPM. So PNPM. Run, I think. Like, let's check on the.
Yeah, you could even try without run.
Yeah, let's say PNPM deploy.
pnpm deploy. Wow.
But yeah, so PNPM
And let's see what happens.
deploy, yeah.
Hmm.
And let's see what happens. Yeah, contract.
There we have a bit of suspense.
Yeah, let's see. And an unexpected error occurred.
Oh,
Yeah, of course, invalid URL
of course.
because we have not
Oh,
put URL here.
don't have the RPC endpoint for this network.
Yeah, so that's where we should use Inferno, I guess.
Yes, I don't have an endpoint for this. I can go get one if you need, but
Yeah, but I think that's Cloudflare. No, login. Maybe I could have used another, but choose your role. Engineer. Or DevOps. Huh?
oh, engineer, yeah.
I think I'm more engineer.
Yeah, you're an engineer now.
Yeah. We'll be using it for just me. Application category. DeFi. Insurance trading.
All of them.
Advisory. Social.
Social, all right, social.
I'm a social person. Huh? Do you that connect your wallet? Yes. What? Which wallet do you that connect to? Rainbow.
Makes me remember we might have some super exciting news with some other RPC providers.
Wow, they have changed Discord verification to become verified. I've not
Oh.
done the verification yet.
No, but you can use maybe yeah.
Let's use this one. But on this one I feel I've already filled up
The limits.
the limits with this one, so I need to use the other
Maybe
one
the one
there.
at the bottom. The one at the bottom, maybe. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So, yep.
Oh.
Huh?
Oh.
But no, maybe they don't accept. Or maybe my Yelp mail was. Yeah. Let's retry. Let's see if it will work. Because I feel if it's another account, maybe it will not be blocked for this one. Let's see. So
hide it. Maybe you should hide it as well. No, I don't know.
should do what?
Maybe hide it because we're gonna see all these API keys. I don't know.
Yeah, I will create a new one. Let's see.
Okay.
And Web3 API.
Yeah.
Yeah, over here. Let me.
Yeah, I knew it. I knew it.
New, but even Matic.
That's because you don't pay your 50 bucks per month.
Yeah, but I can reuse this one, I think.
Sure.
Because I quit it a long time ago. I mean, not, yeah. Even this Uniswap. Yeah, let's.
Any.
API key. And yeah, and this one. but there is no Sepolia. No?
Yeah,
It's no here, Ethereum, Sepolia.
that's right.
And here. And that's where I need to put again. But yeah, it will not really be so useful, but okay.
And we have
Sepolia.
15 minutes to go.
Yeah. Not so efficient.
No, we are. It's okay. It's okay due to.
Okay. So if I and here it's only .env. So let's retry. Yeah. Don't even need. What I could do is keep this, keep a terminal public here, and keep the terminal private on the other screen.
Yep.
And this way. Yeah, and that's a private key.
Oh.
If you use the private key there, use the private key prefix instead. That's a very good user message saying, we expose the private key, and then you say it's not a valid address. If you used to put a private key there, then use the private key prefix instead.
All right. So you can tag this one as exposed, right?
Yeah, but it was already exposed.
Despite all the efforts to hide, etc.
Yeah, so let's make it easier now. And still, I think still it should have 0x. Or you want to try without the 0x?
Yes, that's what I would try.
I always put 0x in that. I mean, every time I use without 0x, it was failing. So
that's weird. We'll find the explanation for this.
You really want to? No, it's here. It's in off. Okay, so it's without the 0x. Yeah, so here, that's my API key. That's we could even instead of Infora, I could use other one.
If you like, I can go get one. Maybe.
Yeah. Chance. I haven't changed. And have some. Sepolia. Click testnet.
I can give you eventually.
Here, RPC server access. Public goods.
Yeah.
Non, mais it's a Sepolia public goods. Non, mais include testnet. Oh, c'est pas possible ça.
No, but wait. I think I can find
Sepolia is here. And I could use all of this. There is even RPC2 sepolia.org.
I mean,
Sepolia Alchemy. The gateway Tenderly. Hey, on Tenderly also I could.
I'm actually.
Sepolia. And gateway and Omniatech, Unifra, clicks RPC Sepolia. Yeah, RPC2 Sepolia. Let's try with this one.
I'm in Pocket right now.
At least that's a live debugging. Huh?
Oh
There
yeah,
you can see every many errors that you can get and how to solve them
yeah.
every time.
And cherry on top, we have some construction just in my apartment.
At least this time it's not mine. Uh-huh.
Yeah, my neighbor decided to.
Okay, so last time. What? And
Ah.
no failure, okay, no errors, but
Mm-hmm. Mm. That's the kind of scenario I don't really like because you don't have much clue.
and await return true. And that's what he tried to do the first time, is that he tried to get name account. He get name account, he gets the deployer, he await deploy, name from deployer, and return true. But maybe we are not there yet. That's where I will have all the deploy script. So registry, EAS, register initial, all this, and start always with the same of start. Deploy function is nearly always the same, that you get the name account, and then you do the here you execute a call on the existing already deployed contract.
Uh-huh.
But always from deployer.
And by any chance, you don't want to eventually maybe just give it a try with Arthera testnet, or maybe it's not a good idea.
But it just do we will just add 0x here. Huh?
Hmm.
No.
Okay. Ah. Okay, that's a weird one.
Because then it doesn't. Let's do live debugging. We could even.
No, I
At
think
the point.
within the 5 minutes that are left, maybe we can try with another network eventually.
Yeah, but it's not about. Here we use Sepolia, so.
Yes, but if you use maybe another network, maybe I don't.
Another RPC maybe. Also.
Yes. Okay, let me check in my own Infura.
Block P.
You were using Infura this time, right?
No, I was using the public of the
The
public
public
one of.
one. That might be an issue. Just a second. I'll just send you.
No, I remember now. It's a
Ah,
feature. It's not a bug. It's a feature.
is it?
Yeah, because if you look here in deployment, you see that Sepolia, it's already deployed in Sepolia.
And probably
Because
deployed
it's
twice,
already
right?
deployed on Sepolia, there is nothing to do anymore.
But yeah, guys, they could at least add a little console log saying, okay, it's deployed. I don't know. That's,
Yeah, so in this case, it's just because we are not used to, and it could also be said here. You can
Mhm.
to deploy to a main network with additional goodies, but for this, for the deploy fork, you will need to use, I think, environmental variable for tenderly.
Mhm.
And also you need to define Yeah, so here it's just as simple as removing sepolia, and I think that's all. Like if we try, so if I remove saying delete.
Okay, so you completely
No, I
delete it?
don't want to move to trash. I want to remove it
But why?
because it's in Git. To not to make it deployed on Sepolia.
Right, right, right.
I think it's just more than just removing the deployment. Maybe artif. Yeah. Could we try with make clean? Yeah.
No, but let's do the cleanup a bit later. But like, since we have maybe 3 minutes,
Yeah.
you don't want to give it a try. You don't want to give it a
Yeah,
try with
let's,
Arthera?
okay.
So I thought it was. So first we thought it was a fail, but finally it worked on Sepolia, and now we get something else.
Now it's trying to deploy.
Yeah, it's obviously deploying right now.
And as you can see here, it has created again the Sepolia directory. And so it's registering what is the pending transaction.
Ah, got it. Okay.
And then if we look at the, here you see it has been this
Oh,
transaction deploy at. And so you don't need to put anything in your script to display that. It's always managed by that deploy.
right, right,
To
right.
display all of that, you
Yes.
just need this line, and that's all.
Okay.
Await deploy name from.
Right.
And
And that's
then everything is registered in the directory with the name of the network.
perfect. So we're about to be live on Sepolia.
Live. I mean, we have validated the deployment process on Sepolia, and then we just need to use the same way. Here it was to validate the environmental variable,
Mm-hmm.
so that he has used this URL and he's used this private key.
Mm-hmm.
And that you, but it was not documented anywhere in EAS README that you need to put private key on the deployer environment variable, and not even documented on Bancor, where from where it's you say it's inspired from.
Mm-hmm.
So you see, it's a documentation issue, even if it's open source, permissionless EVM agnostic. If you don't have proper documentation,
Yeah.
it
And
makes
by the
it
way, it can be also up to the community, right? We
exactly. That's what we do.
And that's kind of what we're doing.
Challenging the documentation. If the documentation is not clear enough,
Yeah,
not complete enough, do pull request on the documentation.
exactly.
That's why documentation should be open source.
And that's the case. That's the case for Arthera documentation, right? We recently turned it public, so that everyone can check what happened and eventually contribute directly.
And so you see here it's executing
What's happening here?
it's registering the different schema in the schema registry.
Okay.
So like it's calling the register function of the schema registering contract. And that's why it takes so much time, because you have to register the initial schema and then name initial schema. And then at the end, it even test. test attestation data, test attestation group, and attestation group. Let's see, generator, pool, schema, for conft, logger, generating, test attestation. And this way, even the deployment do the unit test. Unit test. Do the end-to-end test, I would say. So after it's deployed, if it managed to deploy up to this script, then the last script test the seed deployment.
Oh wow. Okay.
So yeah, we're just a bit late.
Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna be late for our Twitter space in a few seconds, but that's okay. They always
Yeah.
always also late, but
And we can participate a bit later also.
yeah.
Yeah, it's more that this is validating the deployment process.
Mm-hmm.
And as long as it works on Sepolia, then we can make it work the same way on Arthera testnet by
Yes.
providing the URL, the same private key, so here we could even propose a public URL taken from a chain list.
Okay.
If we want to, because that's what I've done here. It's a public one. So why not putting it in the template? Okay. Yes, so we have to be very patient because every time it to avoid iter's JS problem, we always wait for a transaction to be validated, to be before trying another transaction. Because the register here could be sent in without waiting for the previous one to be validated, because that's different. If there is no dependency in the schema, we could register the schema in the same block. But maybe there is some dependencies in the schema that we try to register.
All right, but I mean, is there like a lot of contracts on this EAS?
Yeah, I think so. A lot.
I
Depend
guess
what you
so,
call
right?
a lot, but
I mean, more than 5.
yes, I think we have already reached more than 5. Yeah.
Okay.
So here Sepolia and schema. Yeah, but I think that's not the. Here there's the total schema already deployed on Sepolia, on the official Sepolia deployment.
Okay. Yeah,
But
that's yeah.
we won't deploy all of them. Maybe we could already check pending migration. Yeah, so here we see we have already done. So that is the timestamp from what I remember. That's the timestamp of the done migration. So here it confirms that we have finished the script 1 registry, and we have finished the script 2. And now we are working on the script 3,
Right.
register initial schemas.
Okay.
And register schemas with UID. So we can check here all the schemas because it's a for loop.
Hmm.
And yeah, all of this. And you see here we have the schema meta URL, meta email line.
Okay.
And now we are at byte 32 private data. No? Yeah, notary certificate.
Mm-hmm.
And passport hash expiration date. But what is it doing here? And now it tried to register. Twitter handle. So you see, we can have a schema to try to replicate. I have an here with a YouTube channel.
Wow.
So here we have the schema YouTube channel. And
Uh-huh.
then the schema, so I try to register and it has registered. YouTube channel schema. And now I try to register GitHub URL. And you see how much gas was then with the Telegram username.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see.
But yeah. And just can you please say again why it does need all this?
No, it's for the initial deployment. It's
Yes,
register the initial schemas
got it.
of attestation. So,
Okay, got
but
it.
it doesn't register all the schemas
All right.
because here you can create a schema.
Uh-huh.
And, because EAS is all about schema.
Yeah.
That's what I have not explained first.
Mm.
So to be able to do an attestation, you do an attestation that is following a schema.
Yep. Yep. And you have
So
a lot of different schemas for attesting different things.
yeah,
Okay.
and so here, if we want to like the most used schema so far is 46 with this UID and have a string provider and a string hash.
Okay.
But then you have with quadratic voting with the hash of document with is human, is
Mm-hmm.
friend also. Like this one was used a lot of tests.
Okay.
Is friend. Like to and so here we have at GitHub URL. So we have done already all these schemas. So is human, is friend, has phone number, but not yet. Not yet the meta URL. And now we are at register bool is true. Yeah.
Okay.
So
And
we
it's
have we have nearly finished it.
okay.
Evan, good morning. GM.
GM as a boolean. GM true
Or false.
or false.
It's not always a good morning. But and what
Especially if you go out like me yesterday evening and you go to the Bitcoin meetup. Uh,
and so if you come back to migration, yeah, you see we have finished the script 3.
all right.
And now we are to the script 4.
Wow.
So
It's
that's
pretty
good
fun.
when everything works automatically.
Mm-hmm. Even
And
automatically.
here again, we have to loop on all schemas, but this time we execute the method attest.
Okay.
So we test with schema name schema ABI coder, we encode.
I mean, somehow we really can see that the deployment is way more complete and a bit more professional, let's say.
Yeah.
compared to some homemade script, right?
I mean, it's more maintainable, I feel.
Yes.
At least while waiting for our data initiation.
Oh, that's another story. Yes, it's coming. It's coming.
So, like as you say here, so now it's all about how you name your script.
Mm-hmm.
So first, and then you can even have a tag on the deployment script.
Mm-hmm.
You can have dependency, you can have tag, and you have a lot of possibilities. And so first we registered the initial schema, and now we
Mm-hmm.
name the initial schema.
Okay.
So here you see that we name schema string message as write a message.
All
We
right.
name schema by 32 name as name something.
Okay.
Schema bool human as is human, is a human. So you could have some kind of proof of humanity if here you attest someone is a human. But you need, so it's, and then it's about social reputation, like social trust.
Yeah,
If,
it's interesting. Yeah, it's interesting because I mean, for instance, I can attest that you are a human, right?
yeah,
And you would do the same for me, and so
yeah,
that's what we can call like the basis of a sort of web of trust.
yeah, the basis. But then nobody has to trust us
Yeah.
if they don't want. But then they could meet one of us and or have a video with one of us and believe that it's not yet AI,
Mm-hmm.
AI generated video.
Mm-hmm.
And so consider that that's what does a bright ID, for example. And then you can attest that you have met this person on video call, and that you attest this with the QA displays, the person displays the QR code, the other participant scans the QR code, and so the scanner attests that the displayer is a human.
Right.
And if you manage to have at least 9 scanners that attested you are a human, then the Bright ID protocol and it does some social graph check, but with this nine attestation, it considers that you have proved in us that you are human.
Yeah, sufficiently strong guarantee that
But you need, the 9 scanners need to be verified already. It's a bit like Circle UBI,
yep.
when you need to have 3 people
Yeah, it's
attesting that you are that you want to join.
kind of a classic web of trust.
Yeah. And you see that naming, because naming use text, naming consume much more gas than just registering.
Okay. Okay.
Because registering it was under 1,000, under 100,000. Yeah. But when you start to use text, now you are more at more than 200,000. Enough.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's so. Let it, right. We can let it finished, but
Yeah.
and it will do the same on Arthera testnet.
Yeah. It's going to be the exact same behavior, right?
Yeah.
All right.
So
Okay, I think we can wrap it up.
yeah, at least we could. we could have a recording later about all the deployment. I think it would be even better to have an Eskinema recording of the deployment. That would be more useful than
What?
Eskinema.
Askinema?
You don't remember? I think I've told you already about Eskinema.
Like this kind of drawings.
So Eskinema, you can record your console.
Oh.
And then, because it's a console recording, you can do a pause and then copy and paste the text of the console.
All right. Can I have the link of this, please?
Yeah, like that's on my profile, but you can just remove the username and.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool.
And that's what I've done even for a pull request. Yeah.
Thanks.
For the OKP4 node with Docker typo fix.
Yeah, it's always useful. It's always useful when you feel like you're doing kind of sensitive stuff, like for example, you run a whole blockchain on your PC, for example. It can be useful to kind of film what's happening on your machine.
Yeah, if you want to share with someone else for debug purposes or for documentation purposes.
Exactly. Or just pride sometime, right?
Yeah, I mean and this way I've even used it for a pull request. Like GitHub. Let me check on the pull request if I still file my pull request. Pull requests. And yeah, version number broken. And here I have to fix the error recorded at.
All right. No, that's super useful even for the reviewer, right? Because the reviewer eventually can see what.
And it's easier to reproduce because here I can do pause or space, and then I could put this and
Absolutely.
copy. And
you can. Oh, wow. That's cool. And you can copy paste a command or stuff.
Yeah.
That's great. Okay.
There is even like the Eskinema command line if you want to replay it also on your terminal.
Very cool. Okay.
And then I will feel free if you need catching this. I think the matter goes a little further. In fact, this version will further.
All right.
So yeah, I need to, and even then I've done first I created the pull request, but then I created the issue and then linked the pull request to the issue.
Yeah.
Because I feel when you have a pull request without having an issue, it's like proposing a solution without first describing the problem.
Yep. I see what you
mean. It's like creating a blockchain without trying to explain which problem you try to solve.
Yeah, absolutely. Or a blockchain or even an application. I mean,
technology, that's a matter of
let's check if we're deployed on Sepolia, and even if not, I suggest we can wrap it up here. Okay.
It's still naming.
Okay, still running.
It's still naming the schemas.
All right.
Even community, even employment verification.
Okay.
Imagine. If your employer could attest that he has verified your employment.
Yeah, I really feel like the EAS thing is kind of a pretty useful thing. So yeah,
even past audit, contract audit,
and can be used in many different ways for all sorts of projects. So it's a good thing. It's a good thing to have it on Arthera.
Yeah, and we are finished because here you have the met in real life name schema.
All right. So that's kind of the.
Well,
Is
that's
it the
bad.
last?
Nate, we have finished the script 4, but then we'll have the script 5 and the script 100.
All right.
So it's don't be impatient.
Okay. Let's stop here. Let's not be late. Thank you so much, Bertrand, for your time, and thank you guys for watching.
Yeah.
Bye. Let's not be late.
Bye.